Hey everyone, it's Kim Adams. How are you? Happy Monday. Today, I want to share with you this amazing processing tool that I just recently learned that is kind of blowing me away. Not just with respect to making more money, but with just everything in life. And I talk a lot about how things are inner game, right? Everything that we create in our reality, whether it's money, great relationships, great health, it's all inner game. And a fascinating book that I've been reading lately, it's called The Marriage of Spirit by Leslie Temple Thurston. And I think I've mentioned it at least on one other video. This book is actually required reading for a retreat that I'm going to in early April. And the gist of the book is that our physical reality, what's in our material world, is a reflection of our unconscious. And so the book really helps you process the dark side of your consciousness because we tend to stuff the dark side. So we want to be in our happy place. We tend to focus and have more, we want to be associated with being positive and happy and all those kinds of good things, right? Excuse me. But we also have to realize that we are everything. So it talks a lot about polarities. And if you get the concept that we're really not separate from anyone or anything. And so we are all that is. And so we have both a dark and a light. And so the fascinating thing about the work is that all you have to do is really highlight your unconscious, release it, highlight it, release it, ask for it to be balanced, and then just wait for the shift to happen. So it's very, very simple. And one of the tools in the book is called squares. I tried to illustrate an example, and I have to show it to you this way, I believe, because I had to write it backwards. Okay, so this is simply picking something. Let's say that you have a desire to be wealthy, since I focus on money as the metaphor in my practice. So let's say you have the desire to be wealthy. Well, that also means that you may have a desire to be poor. And so what the squares technique does is help you kind of uncover the unconscious. And just once you do that, there's nothing to do after that. So just highlighting it and uncovering it is the process. So here's an example, right? Look at this piece of paper. So at the top, you're going to put, these actually are backwards. In the top left-hand corner, this looks like it says, I believe if you're looking at this, it looks like the top left-hand corner says fear of being wealthy. That actually goes in the left-hand corner, but it doesn't really matter for purposes of illustration here. So at the top, you're going to have the desire to be wealthy, and you're also going to have the fear of being wealthy. And then down below, in these two quadrants, you're going to put the desire to be poor or the fear of being poor. And what's interesting when you do this technique is there's usually one, sometimes two quadrants that you struggle with. There's usually always at least one that you really have a harder time coming up with things. And so once you put once you place these topics or these titles in these quadrants, all you do then is then list all the ways that you desire to be, all the reasons why you desire to be wealthy. And then also try to think of, the fear of being wealthy. Why do you fear being wealthy? Why do you desire to be poor? That's probably the hardest for you, is the desire to be poor. It's there. We have all of this in us. So here's the gift in this, is highlighting why you want to be poor. So it's a fascinating technique. I encourage you to get the book and work through the other processes she has in the book. There's some other simpler ones that you start with, but this is really awesome. And I'm telling you, I have been committed to doing one square a day, and I've had amazing results with it. Crazy, amazing stuff is happening. And it's such a freaking simple thing to do. It's not hard at all. So uncovering the unconscious is really, really powerful. And so just do the squares technique. If you have any questions, please let me know. The book again is called The Marriage of Spirit by Leslie Temple Thurston. And it's just a new process I've come upon to help highlight the unconscious, process it very easily. So here's what you do. After you have filled this out, right, and made some attempt in all of the squares, because there will be one you struggle with, like I said, then all you do is you set a little intention, you ask for, whatever you want to say your little prayer to, whether it's the universe, God, whatever fits your belief system. You just say, please help me balance these polarities. And I, thank you, knowing that it will be done. And I am open to receiving grace. So here's the idea. Finish the squares, do this process, set the intention, ask for them to be balanced, and then wait for grace. Wait for the shift to happen. And I'm telling you it will. What's also very helpful too as you're doing this process is to keep a journal. Because the journal will help you realize that there are shifts occurring, because sometimes we minimize things that are happening. And so keeping a journal in along the way is really helpful. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. If you're watching this not live, if you're watching the replay of this, please feel free to type in any questions. But it's amazing. It really is. Super simple, but amazing. Again, this is Kim Adams at Kimberly B. Adams on Facebook Live. If you're watching this some other place besides Facebook, come on over to my Facebook group. It's called The Total Wealth Entrepreneur, where I share more ideas and concepts on creating wealth, both the natural laws of creating wealth, the inner game aspects, as well as tactical aspects for increasing your money and your wealth. Talk to you real soon. See you next week. Monday Money Talks are every week, Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern. So hope you have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.